Sawadee-ka and welcome to Thailand. In this video, I'll be sharing footage from my recent trip to Thailand in the hopes to inspire anyone looking at travelling to this beautiful country, suggest a possible itinerary, and hopefully provide some helpful tips along the way. My girlfriend and I flew out of New Zealand and had a few-hour transit in Hong Kong before arriving in Bangkok, Thailand. We spent the first few days exploring Bangkok and doing all of the touristy activities, including many tuk-tuk rides, enjoying $6 massages, and touring around the different temples. We also took a long-tail boat where we stopped at the Big Buddha and the super wholesome floating market that I wish we could have stayed longer at. And of course we had to try the famous 7-Eleven toasties, which were unreal. We then flew into Phuket, where we met our taxi van at the airport and made our way straight to Khao National Park. We stayed at the Jungle House, which I would highly recommend to anyone going to Khao National Park and wanting to experience nature's paradise. The staff were incredibly friendly, the food was delicious, and we could book activities and tours through our accommodation super easily. It felt like such a dream waking up in a cozy treehouse and spending my birthday amongst the oldest rainforest in the world, surrounded by limestone cliffs and home to around 5% of the world's species. I felt super connected to this place and to myself while I was there, and even though I'd never been there before, it somehow felt familiar, safe, and just what my soul had been craving. We did a full-day tour of Khao Land Lake, which involved a trip out to the floating bungalows, wildlife spotting, and even a hike up a waterfall led by our awesome guide Fluke. Khao surpassed all of my expectations. We only stayed 2 nights, but I could have very happily stayed here the entire trip. It was also a lot cooler than other parts of Thailand, which was a really refreshing break from the humidity and 30-degree heat. On the last day in the national park, we visited the Elephant Conservation Centre. I was apprehensive at first as I was worried it wouldn't be ethical, but as soon as we arrived I felt immediately reassured. The centre had only opened 2 months before we were there, and the owner was of the 6th generation in his family to have dedicated his life to rescuing elephants from the logging industry. He explained how they can't return the elephants to the wild as they have been domesticated for over 60 years and simply wouldn't survive. Instead, their mission is to give them the best lives possible. However, this is expensive to do, and they rely on tourists to help pay for the food, given they have 20 elephants who each spend 18 hours a day eating. They also make sure to limit the amount of tours run per day so that this does not exceed more than what the elephants need in terms of bathing. This means they have to charge guests a little bit more than other sanctuaries, but I would much rather this than going somewhere that doesn't consider and prioritise the elephants' needs. Our last few days were spent back in Phuket. We stayed in Old Phuket town but did some exploring around other areas. We got so lucky with the weather given we were travelling during wet season. Obviously not everyone will have the same experience, but for us I'm really glad we went when we did, as it meant things were cheaper and less touristy. Thankfully we didn't have any issues with scams, and all of the locals we encountered were so friendly, welcoming, and seemed like they genuinely wanted to chat or help us in some way. Travelling overseas again made me remember how much I value diversity and love experiencing different cultures and connecting with people from all walks of life. I'm so grateful to have had this experience, and it's truly no surprise why Thailand is nicknamed the Land of Smiles. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.